A scientist is disappointed with the latest negotiations on the United Nations Global Plastics Treaty. The treaty could potentially impact future production, consumption, and recycling of plastics worldwide, which would have a major positive impact on the Pacific region. However, Neil Nathan of the Benioff Ocean Science Laboratory says for the treaty to be more effective, countries need to look at more than just recycling. He told Tiana Haxton 175 nations involved need to look at the full life cycle of plastics, starting with reducing production and demand.
I think I see potentially three routes or three options moving forward of what is likely to happen with the treaty. One is that the treaty ends up being a watered-down agreement that focuses mostly on national action plans rather than incorporating specific policies and universal obligations relating to these plastic policies. This would turn into, another Paris Agreement, essentially, where rather than focusing on those specific policies, it's left up to each country to sort of decide how they work and what types of policies they implement in order to reach this common goal. And if we go that route, I don't think that a treaty built like this would actually be able to make a meaningful dent in plastic pollution. The next sort of option that could happen is to just try to finalize as much of the text as possible in INC 5, but then be open to the possibility of extending the negotiations, whether that's creating an INC 6 or an INC 5.2, essentially extending the process. That is certainly feasible and would help us to create a stronger agreement that is really built in more, has incorporated more of the perspectives, has been influenced and informed by a bit more science. And then the last potential option is that this could, become a framework agreement. And so rather than fully putting everything on the table now and, ensuring that all of the policies and the language is set at the end of INC 5, it could just turn into a framework approach where most or all of the provisions remaining are still incorporated more broadly, but without being truly developed and concretely developed by the end of INC 5. And what this allows is that, over the course of, the next few years or whatnot, that people can, the members can continue to develop the treaty, continue to sort of finalize the language and develop it as time goes on, meaning it won't start out as a very strong treaty, but it does have the ability to evolve over time.